This conference will now be recorded.
So, Chandana, can you hear? Can you see my screen? Just say yes on the chat window. Okay. Chandana, we will wait 2 minutes. The Priya is not joined yet. Okay. We'll say 2 minutes and we'll continue. Yeah, Chandana, last previous classes, do you have any questions or doubts while installing and some basic about the Python introduction? Okay, what is the Python? Why we are using the Python? And Python versus other languages. I teach you already. Okay, so is there any doubts or questions? Hello, Chandana, can you hear me? You can unmute and speak. No problem. Voice was enough. So, ఆగండి సెకండ్ పట్టుకెళ్ళి Yeah, Chandana, so far we have done some classes like introduction, basic part. Okay. So do you have any question, doubts? Okay, fine. No doubts. Okay, fine. So the Priya is not joined yet. Okay, so we'll continue today class. I will share all the recordings so far what we have done. Okay, the introduction class. Okay, the basic part. Okay, and the installation part. All the videos I will share. Okay, just go through one by one. Okay. Let me start. And we will create one WhatsApp group also for all of you, and we will share that WhatsApp group. Yeah, yesterday teach you some basic part, right? That is about the Python, okay? And what is the syntax of the Python? How we are going to write the Python syntax? How it is easy, okay? Just like English keywords, you can learn very easily, okay? Because compared to other languages, the Python is very easy to learn for the beginner to advanced level also. Okay, the syntax is very easy to learn. Okay, so before going to coding, some of the things like we need to follow some style guides. Okay, style guides here. So every language will have some style guides. So style guides means we need to follow that. Voice is breaking. Um, Hello, Chandana, can you hear me clearly? Some more. ఇది స్పీడ్ నెట్ స్పీడ్ ఉంది అదే 5G కనెక్ట్ వాళ్ళ సైడ్ మీకు కంటిన్యూస్ వస్తుందా వాళ్ళ సైడ్ ఇష్యూ ఒకళ్ళకి వస్తే వాళ్ళ సైడ్ ఇంటర్నెట్ చూసుకోవాలి రీకనెక్ట్ అవ్వాలి ఓకే రీకనెక్ట్ అవ్వాలి Chandana, can you hear me now clearly? So otherwise, rejoin on the meeting. Just log out and rejoin on. No, okay. You can just log off and rejoin the meeting. So make sure check that your internet connection. Is there some disturbance or anything like from the Wi-Fi or any some other issues? So just make sure that.
మీటింగ్ లో అందరికి సేమ్ వస్తేనే
అందరికీ సేమ్ వస్తే ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది.
సైడ్ ఇష్యూ లేదంటే బాగా
Hello, Priya. Can you hear me? So I might be asking, my voice is clear or not? Is there any breaking? So my voice is clear, right? Yeah, it's clear. Okay, fine. Chandana, how is it now? Chandana, my voice is clear without breaking. I think I'm side. Okay.
మీకు తెలుస్తుంది కదా నాకు వాయిస్
Okay.
ఒకసారి సిస్టమ్ రీస్టార్ట్ చేస్తానంట.
ఓకే.
టైప్ చేయండి, మీ స్క్రీన్ మీద టైప్ చేయండి, నోట్ ప్యాడ్ ఓపెన్ చేసి.
చాట్ ఫోల్డర్ టైప్ చేస్తున్నాను.
చాట్ ఫోల్డర్ కవర్ ఓపెన్ చేయలేదు, మీరు నోట్ ప్యాడ్ మీద టైప్ చేస్తారనుకోండి స్క్రీన్ లో ఈజీగా రీచ్ అయిపోతుంది. వాళ్ళు చాట్ లో రిప్లై ఇస్తారు.
Okay. Priya, I'll starting the class. Okay, the Chandana will rejoin because of some internet issues is there. She is not able to hear my voice. Okay, she will restart system and she will join in the meeting. Okay, so far in the previous classes we learned about already what is the Python. Okay, and what is the advantages, benefits. Okay, and some basic parts we completed. Okay, and the Python history. So before going to learn any language, so we need to know about the history. So the language history, who are invented. Okay, and what is the versions, what are the enhancement or done in the each and every versions. Okay, so that is like we need to know about the any language history before going to coding, going to the practice. Okay, so Python history is like over here. The Python was conceived in the late 1980s. So the Python language is invented in the 1980s. Okay, it's around 40 years completed. Okay, named after BBC TV show. So that is called Monty Python's Flying in Circus. So one circus event has happened in the UK, like that was BBC TV is conducted. Okay, so in this they have mentioned the name is the Python. Okay, and the inventor name is the Guido van Rossum. Started implementing Python at CWI in the Netherlands in December 1989. So from the 1989 they have completely started the Python language. Okay, and this was successor to the ABC programming language, which was capable of exception handling. So exception handling nothing but here, suppose when you're writing any language, you are going to face some like bugs or like some warnings. Okay, so when you're getting those kind of problems, how to fix that first of all. So before going to like executing your application, so we need to fix that all issues and the problems, errors, everything. Otherwise, you will not get output. Okay, so that's what the first initial stage they given the exception handling, how to handle the exceptions like throwing errors, okay, and fixing the problems. Okay, like that they have implemented the Python language. Okay, and interacting with the Amoeba operating system. So it's not starting with the OS like Windows operating system. Okay, so in the Netherlands they have one operating system that is called Amoeba. Okay, so in that environment we have started the Python language. Okay, and after this the Python 1 version. The Python first version is Python 1, and the second version is on October 16th 2000. Okay, from the 2000 Python 2 version we are using. These are main versions. Okay, like major versions like Python 1, Python 2, Python 3. The present latest version is Python 3 and some Python 3.1, 3.2. Okay, that is like with small changes they have introduced. Python 3.1, 3.2, 3.8. The present latest version is 3.9. Okay, so the Python 2 is introduced in the 2000, the 16th of 2000. Okay, and Python 3 released in the December 3 2008. Okay, so if you see the Python 3 using since December 3 2008, so that means almost 12 years completed. So from 12 years we are going to use Python 3. So there is no any other versions and like major versions. Okay, so they have introduced like a Python 3.12 like that, but major version is Python 3. So since 12 years we are going to use 3 version, Python 3 version. Okay, so like this is like a 3 version, Python 1 2 3. So it's almost 40 years completed. So in Python anybody can learn very easily. Okay, even from the beginner level, like for example academic level also you can learn. So academic means freshers, like students also can learn very easily. Okay, so from beginner to advanced level, from very small like single page application to large scale application, we are going to use the Python language. So it's very easy to learn and it's very readable. So readable means like a human readable language. It's just like a English keywords. There is no any complex code. Okay, like complicated functionality, nothing is there. So how you are speaking like English, that same way you can learn the Python language also. If you see other languages, you compare other languages like for example Java, C, C++, other scripting and server side languages, it's very difficult to understand their syntaxes and programming. So you need to you should have some programming knowledge before going to use those languages. But Python is not like that. You can learn very easily the Python. Okay, just you if you have some good knowledge on maths, like maths means like a 10th standard maths. Okay, so you will learn the Python language. Now coming to the Python features, it's easy to learn and it's completely object oriented. So object oriented means, suppose if you see any objects, it's like object means here suppose you are using some any device like mobile or laptop or any like a physical element which is using regularly in your daily life. So if it is anything you are going to call like one object. Okay, so here the Python programming language supports classes and objects. Okay, the classes and objects means here let's say Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay, Chandana. Okay. Okay. Coming to the libraries and tools and other packages, we're going to install using the PIP. So here the PIP means like Python package index. Okay, so in the different languages they will use some different syntaxes. Suppose let's say Angular, they are going to use like modules. So here we are going to say the Python package index. Okay, so a lot of indexes are there. Just you have to call in your application. So entire index is available in your application and you can use it. So instead of writing manual line to line, just you can use those indexes like libraries and tools. No need to write each and every line of code, so that you will save your time, and the code also, your application also will be perfect without errors, and it will run perfectly. Okay, so because of that we are going to use these indexes in the Python. So they have used Python. Okay, so here you can use it to implement a variety of functions without need reinvent wheel of every time. Okay, because of library, no need to write any like each and every functionality like a bunch of lines of code or hundreds lines of code. Just you can call one function or module and it will work. Okay, and coming to the best practices. So here, if you use any language, any programming language, we need to follow some best practices. Okay, here the best practices means like writing simple code, okay, without errors, without bugs. Okay, instead of writing 10 lines of code, you can optimize uh, and you can finish within the 3 to 4 lines of code. Okay, so that is called like modularized code. Modularized code, and you can say simplifying the code. Suppose perform one task, you are writing like regularly 10 lines of code. So nowadays no need of write 10 lines of code. Just you can finish within 3 to 4 lines of code. Okay, so that is like one of the best practice. PEP stands for Python Enhancement Proposals. So here the Python Enhancement Proposal means here we need to follow some style guides in the Python. Let's say, for example, if you're doing some application, if you're beginning from the starting, okay, so first we are going to create one design like UI design, and after completing UI design, we are going to code on the design, right? So when you develop the code, so we need to follow some style guide. So here the style guide means, let's say for example, typography. So what is the font name, what is the font color, size, spaces, okay, and what is the layout like width and height. Okay, these are all some style guide. Okay, so we need to follow the style guide. The same way the Python also we need to follow some style guide here. So that is called here the Python enhancement proposals. Okay, after surveys and some interviews with the users, they have got some inputs, and based on those inputs they have created some proposals. So the proposals style guide. Okay, so when you're writing the Python, you need to follow those style guides. Okay, so here some of the listed out. Use proper naming conventions, tools, functions, methods, and more. So proper naming. So when you create your own, like suppose a function name or variable name or object name, so you need to use the proper naming. So let's say, for example, just now I given one book name here. Okay, so this is called like a book, and this object. So let's say here you can give the more like this, my book, something like this, my underscore book like this. Okay, so you need to give some proper name to understand any device. So nowadays we are going to use different devices, not only mobile and laptop. Okay, so a lot of differences are there in the market, like wearable devices. Okay, and other like suppose chatbots. We are going to use different devices. So you need to provide the proper naming to your custom variables, functions, objects, and all. Okay, however, some result keywords are there. Okay, every language will have some result keywords, those keywords we need to use the same name, okay, that we cannot modify, and we cannot use those keywords as our custom names. So that should be like result keywords, okay. And the conventions, functions, methods, and more, okay. That is one proposal. And the next one is variable, functions, methods, packages, modules, and this is one example. This is a variable. So let's say here I'm going to create one variable here. Let's say here your name, okay. So your underscore name, this is my variable name, okay. And the next you can say like a first name or something like this, like you can say first name, okay. And another variable second name, so last name, like this, okay. Let's say the first one you can say the full name, okay. To get the name from the user, you can create these kind of variables with naming, okay, with meaningful, the full name, first name, and last name. You can provide the 3 different variables. You can store the values, okay. The first name, last name is the full name, okay. So this is called like creating the naming variable, okay. Let's say for example here, suppose you are going to check with any other data, like creating the variable, you should not start with the numbers, any variable. You should start with alphabets and underscore. You can create with some ABC variable, okay, and you can create any variable with the alphabets like ABC. You should not start with the numeric values and other symbols and characters. So your variable should start with the underscore and alphabets, like with small and caps also you can use. Okay, so that is like variable creation. The classes and exceptions, cap words. Suppose you have any some more than one word, like when you're creating the variable, suppose you have one more than one keyword, so you can separate with the cap words. Let's say here, so here I have the full name, like 2 words are there, okay. Suppose instead of using underscore, suppose you are going to create without underscore, you can create like this, okay. The full, in the full, F is small, and in the name you can type the capital M, okay, so that it will be easy to identify. It is a 2-word variable, but it's in, one word, okay, without giving the space, without giving underscore, okay. So more than one word, you can use the cap words like this. Like cap words, you can say camel words, okay. And protected methods and internal functions, single leading underscore. So here you can use the underscore before starting variable. So here what they said, the protected methods and internal functions. Internal functions means here we have some inbuilt functions, inbuilt methods, keywords like that. So protecting them, you can start with the underscore so that it will be clear. So it is a user defined variable, user defined function, user defined objects like that, okay. So that it will be easy to identify. It is like user defined, and when executing your code, interpreter will understand this is a user defined, okay. So like this you can protect your inbuilt methods and functions, and because when you are executing your code, suppose there is some issues creating the variables, it will raise some error. Your interpreter will get confused with your user defined variables, functions, methods, and with the inbuilt functions and methods, okay. So that you can start with the underscore when you're creating user defined variables and functions, okay. And private methods here, the double leading underscore, okay. So when you, this is like very special case, the private methods. Suppose you are going to write some any security information. So security information means like here we are going to use the public and private. The public information will access anybody, okay. Once you type any URL in the address bar, anybody can access. Okay, that is like called public. And when you say the private, so that is like confidential data. So we have some restriction to access that. So we need to register and we need to provide the credentials like user ID and password. Okay, and then you can see the data. Okay, so when you're writing that kind of data and using that kind of variables, functions, and methods, you can use double underscore. Okay, before creating that, so that it can be identified easily. Okay, so and the constants caps with means here the constants like here we're going to use like result keywords. Result keywords, let's say for example boolean is there. So boolean value is true and false. So here we need to start with the caps. So here I'm going to write the boolean. Okay, the boolean is like our first one is the true and second one is false. So you need to start with the caps. Okay, so suppose if you say like a small t, it will get error. So Python interpreter will not understand this boolean value. Okay, you need to start with the caps. So this is called result keywords. Okay, so any result keywords you should start with this. Like it can be boolean or it can be any other keywords. You can say you can start with the capital letter. Okay, so that it will be understand very easily. The constants caps with underscores. Okay, and use 4 spaces for indentation. For more conventions, refer PEP8. So here the PEP8 means here the Python enhanced proposals. What I said in the above, this one, the Python enhancement proposals. Okay, the Python enhanced proposal means nothing but your style guide. So as per our style guide, we can use 4 character spaces for indentation. Okay, so here let's say for example here when you're creating any like a variable or giving some functions, just if you say one tab in the notepad. Okay, so this is like around 7 to 8 characters are in one indentation character space, but in the Python we can provide 4 character space. Okay, that's what they said here. The indentation for more conventions refer to PEP8. So let me check this PEP8. Okay, let me open the PEP style guide. What is the style guide? So here we can say Python style guide. Yeah, but I'll get the first one. First one is the correct visual link. Yeah, here they listed out all the style guides about the Python. Okay, so here the version is PEP8. The title is Style Guide for Python Code. Okay, always you can go to the official website. Any language, they will provide some style guide, and you can check with the official website. So python.org is the official website for Python language. So in this website, you can check all the style guides what they provide. So the current version is 8, and the title is Style Guide for Python Code. And they have provided other information like about the author. Okay, and other information they provide status active type of, and it was created on the 5th July 2000. Okay, all the information they provided. Okay, and here they started the about. Okay, so here you can check one by one all the style guides. Okay, and you can start your coding. So you need to follow all these style guides. So here style guides means like some writing like better code. Okay, what is the syntaxes, what is the variable, how to write that, how should not write that. Okay, suppose if you're facing some errors and any bugs, how to fix that, they will give some solution here. Okay, is there some any syntax error or something. Okay, so they can provide all the style guide here. Yeah, here they given the indentation. This is the define long function name. That is one function they created. In the second line, they given one indentation, like with 4 character space. Okay, that is one style guide as per the P. Okay, and use the PYPI. So here the PYPI, instead of doing it, use as I said in the above, the PIP package, Python package index. Instead of doing yourself like repeating same line of code, you can use the PIP and you can install it. Okay, that we learn already about. Write object oriented code also. This I teach you now. Okay, so these are some basic part of Python and some style guides. Yeah, Chandra and Priya, if you have any doubts or questions, just chat me on chat. Yeah, you can ask me, you can unmute and you can ask me directly. Okay, now today we are going to share all the videos what we've done so far. Okay, all the recording videos will share all of you, and the same time we are going to create the WhatsApp group. Okay, all of you are available in the WhatsApp group, so that you can discuss if you have any doubts or questions. You can discuss and you can solve any problems. Okay, if there is any some complexity, I will update you. Yes, yes, I will share. Okay, so here okay, so here I'm going to give some example on the Python syntax. So it's very simple and easy. Okay, anybody can understand. If you know the English, Python language, you can learn. Okay, so here just I create an X variable and I'm saying hello world. So this is a very basic thing. Any language going to use like using the hello world. Okay, and here I created one X or any you can reset anything like ABC or something in it. Okay, or like for example name. Okay, or username or student name. Okay, you can use any variable and you can assign some value. Okay, so here I'm created one X variable. Okay, that was like some space to store your value. So X is my some storage, and hello world is my keyword like value, and that value I'm going to store in the X variable space. So when I want to use this, like when you want to display the name like a hello world like value, and I'm going to use this X variable. So the X variable always available in your program. So later we are going to change the value, and later we are going to adding something and removing something, updating something with X variable. Okay, so this like X is just like storage to store your information. Okay, so that is one syntax, and the print X is like inbuilt function in the Python. So print is like inbuilt. There is no any other like user defined things. If you create like user defined using the capital words like print, so it will raise some error on your interpreter. So that means the print method is inbuilt function. Yeah. So this one is like, let's say here the print method. So this is called inbuilt function. You can say inbuilt function or inbuilt method here. So this hash is our Python comment. Here you can say Python inbuilt. inbuilt function to print any data. This way. Okay, so once you write any code, like after creating variables and assigning some values using the print function, and you can call that variable inside your parentheses, inside your parent the print variable, print parentheses. Okay, so like this, just you can call any, you can call variable, and you can call directly values also. Okay, so let me give the VS for this example, like a real-time example. So yesterday I show you that print section. Let me repeat this one. So first we need to get a country's folder directory. So let's use cd double dot, so that you will go to the previous directory. So my previous directory is desktop. So yesterday I created one directory that is called Python class. So we need to move on to the directory. Okay, so let's use the cd Python class. So that is our directory Python class. Okay. So we created already, right? So let me check one second. cd Python class. Yeah. Now we are in the right directory. Okay, that is called the Python class. So here you can start the code. Okay, let's say here first we need to open the Python file. Where it is. So yesterday I created the script 2.python. Let me open on the VS Code. Just right click, open with VS Code. Yeah. So here the print hello students is there, like created one value. Okay, and here I printed using the print function. So before going to that, suppose if you want to store information permanently, when you want to use those data, so you have to store in some variable. So before going to use the print function, so we need to store the information using some variable. So let's say, for example, here, like here, I'm going to create full name. Full name is our variable, and here I'm to say some like a Python language. Python language. Okay, so this value is stored in the full name. So you can reuse this full name variable anywhere in your script. But the print and hello students is you cannot use other section. So this will work only in this particular page. Suppose if you want to use the same like hello students, or you are reading some message with like a good morning, good afternoon, welcome. So you need to write again. So that means need to repeat manually. So the Python concept is no need to repeat yourself. Like don't repeat some principle is there. Don't repeat yourself. Okay, so here if you do like this, you have to repeat manually. Okay, so that's why you are going to create variable and storing information, and you can use this variable anywhere in your program, anywhere for application. So that is called like don't repeat yourself. Okay, just you can call the variable wherever you want. Okay, so like this we are going to store the information in variables, and we are reusing that variable. Okay, so let's say here I want to show the result here. Let me check here. Okay, so here I'm going to use full name. Okay, so here let's say that I'm to start the Python interpreter. So after writing your Python program on your VS Code, this you have to give the shift enter. Okay, so once you give the shift enter, the Python interpreter will run on your terminal. Okay, without giving shift enter, your Python interpreter will not run, so that you cannot write any code, you cannot execute. So after writing any code, just you can give the shift enter. Okay, so after giving this, you can see the results. So here they said like user A to Z trainings, app data, local programs, Python, Python 39, Python exe. Okay, so now the interpreter is available. Now we can write the code. Okay, so here let's say for example full name. Here I'm going to use can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. After running your Python interpreter, you can write your program. Okay. So here I use the print function in the Hello. Hear me now? Okay. So here, just I type in Notepad. Some issues is there, like for audio or something. Some internet issues are there. Okay, and you will fix today. Okay, tomorrow this issue will not repeat. And make sure check your side also about the internet connectivity and about the audio, like headsets and all. Okay, make sure from your side also. Now it's started. Okay. Okay, fine. Today we're done. Tomorrow we start about coding part. So first I'm going to teach about the data types. What are the data types available? Okay. So tomorrow we'll start from the data types. Okay. Is there any questions or doubts? Priya, you joined in between, right? Some little bit later. Do you have any question or doubt? Chandana? Okay. Fine. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see it. Okay. Bye. Bye everyone.